TV. And now it's time for this afternoon's edition of Children's GBC with George Buxton as your presenter, but in a familiar setting.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Children's GBC on a fine Tuesday afternoon. Okay, so that you know that I'm still in this same location for where I am right now. Well, obviously, because me and George Buxton have already done some presenting. Of course, George Buxton has already done the presenting on a fine Tuesday morning because what he didn't realise, he was in a different location somewhere. But hey, it's better than nothing, you know. So, anyways, now we have some programs that's coming your way. But first, we're going to kick things off with our lovable postman from Greendale, Postman Pat. And today, there's a sheep in the clover field. Oh, just to give you a hint, if the sheep eats too much clover, they can make themselves really sick. So, anyways, here's Postman Pat.
Postman Pat and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure there'll be knock. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat.
And that was Postman Pat. Well, mind you, I'm so glad that the sheep are back in their own proper field now, with grass to munch on. And of course, what you didn't hear at first, that there was a bull. But luckily, there was no bull in that episode as such. And sadly, Ted has broken his leg. But don't worry, his leg will feel better very soon. So anyway, coming up next on Children's GBC now, it's time to head over to the patch stop in today's Playdays. And they are looking at badgers. And I'm pretty sure that my friend Robin would have loved that episode because it's all about badgers. Yeah, you know, badger, 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 badger. You know what I mean. Let's watch it and find out.
It's the play bus! But where does it go? Where does it stop? Watch for the sign of the lollipop. Stop! It's the patch stop.
Just think of an animal, a sniffing, snuffling animal who likes to live under the ground. And you'll see a badger, a sniffing, snuffling badger. So shh, don't make a sound.
Some more adventures with the Playdays going, which is coming tomorrow. But coming up next though, Bodger and his naughty badger are up to some mischief one way or another. And that's next here on Children's GBC.
And that was Playdays. Well, mind you, yeah, Peggy Batch sure likes going on to some various adventures. Yeah, especially hanging out with some presenters for the likes of Mark and others, really. Yeah, because the reason why Mark has to be with the children because it's all about learning, and it's at best recommended for preschool children, just like yourselves, obviously. But that's only for younger viewers in mind. And speaking of badgers, the one that we've just had right now, it's time, you guessed it, Bodger and Badger. And today's episode, it's World Badgers Day. Yep, this is why we had playdays earlier on. So yep, Bodger and Badger.
Badger loves mashed potatoes. Into shapes and eats them every day. Bodger and Badger, Bodger and Badger. La 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 la. Bodger where he goes, Bodger always knows. Badger, his badger mates, is never far away. Bodger and Badger, Bodger and Badger. La 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 la. Bodger and Badger are never far away.
And that was Bodger and Badger. Yeah, because, well, despite the fact that there is no such thing as World Badgers Day, well, because Simon was fooled by Badger, because Simon thinks that it is indeed World Badger Day, and because in which he has to be nice to his badger friend, especially about licking the nose. Well, luckily there's no hair bear to lick my nose this time, so yeah, that's a good start. So anyway, so coming up next on Children's GBC, and if I do my impression,
Oh, hello everyone, I am Henry's cat, and in today's episode, this is where I go on holiday, and I'm sure that my friends are already going to help me get on with the holiday preparations. Well, let's find out for myself.
One day, Henry's cat was standing in the park watching the flowers grow.
Oh, that was Henry's cat. Yeah, anyways, I better go now. Goodbye, I'll be off on holiday now.
alright viewers, now if you were wondering why I had to do an impersonation of Henry's cat, well, it's because because I've done the same thing over at Christmas, well, despite a few bloopers about it along the way, but hey, it's okay. Right, because that's why I did it for real. So, coming up next on Children's GBC, it's time to head over down to Manchester and Prestwich, and today's episode of Sooty & Co., in which they had to look after Uncle Stuart. And plus, it's an age-old problem for Matthew in Sooty & Co.
Hey ho, it's Sooty and Co. Everybody say hello. There's Sooty and Sweet, a panda called Sue, and little cousin Scampi. There'll be fun galore with the terrible four. Just you wait and see. It's Sooty and Company. Sooty and Company.
Oh, hello there. Hey, you know we're always looking for new ways of making money here at Sooty & Co.
That was Sooty & Co. Yeah, because Matthew looks a bit funny in that Uncle Stuart disguise, because that Mo could be fooled. Because luckily she has been fooled hook, line and sinker, otherwise known as hook, line and stinker. Snarl, 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 waffle, 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 waffle. Yeah, don't worry, that's just my own laugh line really. No big deal. So anyway, so coming up next on Children's GBC now, it's time to meet the boy once again as the boy encounters a giant panda who is coming to stay. Oh, and just don't worry, Spider will still be on it though. So here's today's Spider. Spider. Well, mind you, I'm glad that the panda and the spider are friends as well as the boy is. Yeah, despite the fact that panda was a bit too big for his bed. So anyways, coming up next on Children's GBC now, it's time for Bear Behaving Badly. And in today's episode, it's all about garden gnomes and stuff. But I can assure you that there is no laughing matter. That's a joke I've just made so far, because that's what today's episode title is. So here's Bear Behaving Badly. Oh no! Oh, not back to the oh no's again. Oh well, it's Bear Behaving Badly.
Okay, mate, I'll be really quick. And when I get back, I'm going to start making the dinner I've got planned for Beatrice. Oh, and mate, don't forget, set the table.
Nev, was that you?
No.
And that was Bear Behaving Badly. Yeah, so what Beatrice Barney did not know that the gnome was a spy gnome. And when Beatrice stood there, when the gnome stood there eating ice cream, and then it just exploded. Well, that certainly was impossible. And the gnome was no more. But I guess that Barney state with Beatrice has just gone in shatters. Yeah, a bit sad really, but hey, I'm sure he could do better next time. So anyway, so coming up next on Children's GBC now, I would see that we're now on to the final programme for this afternoon. And just before George gets handover on Friday morning, here is today's episode of Chuckle Wish, in which they did their best just to clean the posh lady's car. Wow. Oh, and just to give you a clue about what the car is, I think it's either a Ford Escort Mark 1. Yeah, you'll see that as you watch this episode.
Paul?
What?
Where are we going?
Oh, we're going into the glamorous world of the automobile business.
Great. Does that mean we're going to be racing drivers?
Not quite. You know those automatic car washers?
Yes. Have we got one of those?
Nearly. Next best thing.
What's that?
Go get the buckets.
Was Chuckle Vision. Well, the Chuckle Brothers did their best to clean the the posh lady's car, and no, it isn't a Rolls Royce or anything. Yeah, and as I said earlier, Ford Escort Mark 1. Yeah, because that's her pride and joy, really. So yeah, but I guess that it always ends very badly. So anyways, and that's pretty much about it for today's edition of Children's GBC. And don't forget, coming up on Friday afternoon, where Jordan, however, will be doing some presenting of the programmes. But of course, the first four would be he'll still be doing it at my place, and then the final four were where he will teleport himself back to his own place so he can finish it off there. Which is true. And now, because I've already done the same thing up about a few weeks ago, so obviously Jordan is going to be doing the same on a Friday afternoon. So I will see you on Friday morning. And of course, don't forget, now I will carry on with some presenting up tomorrow morning as well. So make sure you keep an eye out for some great content. So, and I will see you soon. And I'll see you on tomorrow morning. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow morning.
You're watching GTV, and now it's time to go over to Summer Bay now, and it's time for today's episode of Home and Away. Well, let's go now.